When the organization started, there was a lot of leafleting on LaSalle Street, and it was really to try to gain access for working women who were generally college educated to get into banks beyond a teller position or to work in journalism at a higher level than they were being given the opportunities.
One of the very first times I met Anne, she told a story about a man who insisted that women should remain in secretarial positions because they had better thumbs and were better filers.
What she brought to the table was absolutely unending energy. She measured her success by building the organization woman by woman.
As time went on, I think Anne realized that women were making progress in the workplace, but there were women who were not.
For hourly workers, you want to ensure that those women have a workplace that is just as focused on equality, but also on advancement.
That the education needed to be much stronger, that more women needed to graduate in order to be able to take care of themselves and their families, to figure out the policies that need to be pushed.
In so many ways, Anne has been part of an ecosystem, a leader of an ecosystem that has supported leadership through high-quality relationships that she's invested in. I'm one of those relationships. I know there are many, many others.
She's able to make connections between the substance that she knows and different perspectives all across the civic landscape.
I hear funders across the country like Ford and Kellogg who bring her on as an expert on the issues that affect low-income working women to make sure that women have quality jobs.
And she makes it a very positive win-win conversation rather than an adversarial conversation.
One of the most significant victories under Anne's leadership by far is community college reform.
Anne's impact on low-income students is vast.
Paid sick leave for almost 1 million people is truly a remarkable accomplishment. And that would not have happened without Anne and without women employed.
We had been working on the Chicago ordinance for a while. We were leading a strong coalition that wrote an ordinance. It was introduced. It had a lot of aldermanic supporters, but the mayor wasn't quite ready to move it. He wanted to create a task force, and he appointed Anne to co-chair this, along with Alderman Amaya Pawar.
We spent a better part of a year working together, bringing a variety of voices to the table. There was a time where we weren't sure whether we were going to be able to get a committee vote. And Anne and I worked the roll call. She called aldermen. She called advocacy groups. She spent a lot of time making sure people understood the issue, that this is a basic dignity that a human being should have.
The genesis of that was Anne Ladky starting this conversation with women around a table and just never giving up.
Anne never fails to give me a new way to see an issue, give me a new way to think about moving forward. And as difficult as the problems might seem, she always reminds me that we're making progress.
I personally can't remember anything that Anne considered a defeat. If it didn't turn out the way we wanted, Anne just saw it as an opportunity to be more creative, to come up with winning strategies.
She's laser focused, so I think that helps people get on board with the things that Women Employed wants to do. And I think that's the reason why this organization has been successful for decades.
I came from a single-parent household. My mom was a single mother of 4 kids. And a lot of the things that Anne, as a leader in women's rights, has worked on has affected my family very personally. So to be able to work in an organization that addresses those issues, but also with a person who's been so involved in this movement for so long, has been incredibly inspiring.
In a time when we're starting to see this increased interest in organizing and street-level activism and gathering at each other's kitchen tables to push issues that we care about, that is the legacy that Anne has imbued in Women Employed.
The topics that Women Employed deal with today are more important than ever. And Chicago is lucky because it has a strong foundation through Women Employed, through the organization that Anne built to address these really difficult topics.
And I think she recognizes that compromise is essential, but she also doesn't compromise her values. She's a warrior for social justice.
Anne leaves behind Women Employed with a solid foundation and a solid footing, with a trajectory that can only go tremendous places.
Thank you, Anne, for being such a selfless leader in the fight for women's rights.
For believing in Instituto del Progreso Latino, and thank you for supporting city colleges.
You have done more to empower women and families than any other single person I know.
You're unwavering in your fight to do what's right for women. You're also a passionate advocate, thoughtful leader, and caring friend, and you will be missed at the helm of Women Employed.
I especially thank Anne for her work with me when I chaired the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission.
For being such a great role model and demonstrating what leadership looks like.
Thanks to you, Latinas, who happen to be the largest group of low-wage workers, have much more fairness.
Few women have had the impact she has had on women's rights.
I have been very blessed to be a recipient of that hard work and dedication that you do to improve the lives of women through the MAP grant, and that because of that, I got my degree.
We have indeed made this world a better place, and it is a tribute to you and your leadership.
Thanks for paid sick days. We want paid sick days. Thanks for being a leader and a guider of that. I just want to say I love you. You are always a stamp right here in my heart.
We've worked together for over 40 years now, and it's been one of the great joys and great honors of my life.
You've always worked to empower working families, and the results of your labor are clear and demonstrable.
You've been my one and only role model and mentor.
You make Chicago a better place, you're making Cook County a better place, Illinois a better place to live, a fairer place, and your contributions are making our society more just.
For creating the opportunity for so many of us, and me included, to advance in our careers.
Thank you, Anne, for the privilege of watching you build the most amazing organization.
Thanks to Anne and Women Employed for paving the way.